What's up? Awesome. Hold on, everybody. What up, what up? Don't worry, y'all. Gotta love this part of the job, right? Woo. Here we go. Just wait for some peeps to come in. I don't know who's even in the chat. What's up, everybody? What's up? Don't worry, I have it a little bit delayed on my phone. How's it doing, Sterling? Oh, well, hello there from Hawaii. What's up, AJ? Good to see you. Don't worry, we're just going to promote this really quickly. What's up, Jordan? We're going to promote this really quickly for everybody. Y'all can feel free to promote it too. I just realized that these weren't getting many views, so I thought it'd be kind of more fun just to talk with you guys about it. I don't know. Feel free to let me know if this is actually something that you guys want in the future. What's up, DD? How you guys doing? We're having a good time here. I kind of just want to knock all these out because I just know that like we have essentially wrapped up the majority of this, and it's a little bit more fun to do it in a live stream format. You know, we'll obviously, this is like my third live stream ever, and hopefully it's looking good, it's looking pretty. That's why I'm monitoring it on my phone, the usual. You guys know the deal. Yeah, we're just going to promote this on Twitter really quickly and see if some other people want to join. We're going to do the Falcons, we're going to do the Buccaneers, the Seahawks, like all those fun teams. The Chiefs, I know that we got that double D up in here. So we're definitely going to be doing that for you guys. I'm going to respond to some chats in just a moment. All right, we are live, finishing off the 2022 deep dives. All right, we are going to start in probably like literally 2 minutes, so don't worry. I'm not gonna have you guys like literally slave here and wait, because that's not cool. You guys are the OGs for coming in. Appreciate it. We got 8 people watching right now. That's awesome. I'm higher on the Falcons than most people. I say 7 wins, best case scenario. I mean, hey, best case scenario. Yes, let's go Eagles, Sterling. 7 wins, best case scenario. Doesn't sound like that much of a stretch. Again, if Mariota, I mean, he's a former, number 2 overall pick, can actually kick ass, then, or like be competent enough, you have weapons. If Drake can stay healthy, obviously you have Cordero there, you have your weapons that you need. So the offensive line's not that bad. You even brought Chuma Doga in, who is potentially going to start this year for the Jets. I think it's going to be good. It's going to be good. We're going to have a good time. I'm going to make sure everything is in order the way I want it to be here. God help us. So yeah, we're going to do it this way. It's going to totally mess up. I already know. But that's why we're on live stream, right? Okay, we're starting at 35. It's 2 minutes away. Just to see if somebody else wants to pop in. Feel free to ask any question in the chat. I haven't actually done many of these live streams, so we're going to be doing them more often on things that just don't exactly matter, so to speak. Don't get the views. It's more fun to interact with you guys live anyways than getting one comment on a video. So being able to talk with all y'all, it's a really fun thing to do. We're going to be doing the weekly mock draft with Broshmo starting about mid-season as well. So feel free to step in. I think it's probably Monday nights. I'm pretty sure that's the way we're going to be doing it, which is fun. It's great because then we get to recap the week before. Broshmo and I are thinking about doing a podcast. Feel free to let me know about that. How big will Lamar's contract to Miami be? I don't know if you want Lamar in Miami. I don't know. I mean, I feel like Tua's better in that McDaniel system. Sounds a little bit insane, but given the amount of money that you're going to have to give up and the draft capital, not exactly 100% sure that would be the best deal. Do you think Darnell Washington coming out this year, and if so, Okay, so if he's coming out this year, where would I have him in my tight end rankings? That's a great question, because the thing is, he was either going to transfer or come out. There's no reason to stay, right? You're behind Brock Bowers regardless. I would say if he does come out this year, he is incredible, right? He's 6'8", I believe, 6'7", 285 pounds, and he can move very well. I think I'd be putting him probably in my top 5. Like, I unfortunately already closed out. I guess I could have given you guys a sneak peek at my rankings, but yeah, it's interesting. I'm gonna respond to a text really quick. This should be probably about like an hour long, given the fact that we don't have many games to do. But let's see. I'm pulling up my rankings right now on my phone. That's the whole entire reason I'm looking at the phone. I know, I said we're going to start at 35. Honestly, can't wait for next year's draft for later round running backs. Yes, I totally agree. I have a hard time not sending a running back in the earlier rounds to Miami, but I totally understand that's just really not the McDaniel way. So we'll see. We'll honestly see. I don't know if he, as a head coach, will have that type of pull to where it's like, hey, let's not draft a running back when they're this good. But also, if they fall, you never know, right? I don't know how teams are going to allow people like Devon Achane, if he continues to progress, if he's going to be able to be passed on at 4.24 clocked speed. If he ends up being faster than that as well, like, that's just hard to pass on. Then you got Jahmyr Gibbs, who's like the same style. And like, I know you have Chase Edmonds there, but if I'm not mistaken, it's a 2-year contract. So Jordan said, I feel like Stetson could be a late day 2, early day 3 pick. He's just too old. You have to have some upside there. He panicked under pressure last year, even in the championship. He really sucked until like he just turned it on in the second half, which is great. It does add some credit to his name because we didn't really think much of him before. I just really think that he's more of a college quarterback, and that's wonderful. He's taken a step up as well. I think he could be drafted maybe in the 6th or 7th round, but I have Brock Purdy. You guys know this. I had Brock Purdy like listed as my QB5 last year, and he's Mr. Irrelevant. So, I'm not going to be putting him anywhere near Brock Purdy range, and I really did like Brock Purdy. So I'm going to pull up my rankings list right here because I want to see where I have my tight ends. I'm not going to put him above Eric Gilbert nor Jaheim Bell. So, interesting. Is this even... Okay, yeah, it is updated. Really? Okay, so the auto sum thing didn't work on this. But Jaheim Bell, I would put him right around Jaheim Bell to Jaleel Billingsley territory. So he'd probably be around tight end 5, tight end 6 for me. What do I think about Malik Cunningham? Floor insanely low, ceiling insanely is very high. So I actually saw him at the ServPro First Responders All-American Bowl. Not All-American, but ServPro First Responders Bowl, because it was over here at SMU. So I got to see him live from the media box, which pretty cool. I would say, like, for you guys who are getting into media to do stuff like that, just beware. They literally put over the loudspeakers that you can't cheer. Like, I don't know about that. It wasn't very fun. But I got to bring my dad. I said he was an employee. That was really cool. So, but, I've been studying Malik for a while. I think he was my second ever scouting report I did, like, officially. And he has some very good traits, but the thing is, he continues to get beat up. He continues to get older, and he doesn't progress at the level that you need to be in the NFL. So I would say the Ravens are a good spot for him to go to, for him to be like quarterback 3. But I don't really see I don't really see him as a viable option in the NFL. Again, he's really thin and has had injury issues. Like Bryce Young has that problem, but he hasn't been injured very often. So there's that. Jordan said Gilbert didn't get much playing time yesterday. I wanted to see more. I know, me too. What is Olipop? So Olipop is pretty much a soda brand that I'm a huge fan of. It's obviously not something that I heavily market for you guys because I don't think that you guys are really for that. But I honestly use it for myself. I've used, like, the code's been used like 5 times all by me. I'm a huge fan of it. It's a soda that honestly tastes pretty good. It's like 35 calories, and it's good stuff. It's a little bit expensive. That's why I like my code, but overall, something if you guys really like that type of stuff, I'd try it out. They sell it at Target. They sell it at Walmart first. Try out one before you buy the big box. But yeah, if you guys ever want to, feel free to support with that. Don't know if you saw how Cunningham did versus Syracuse. He did really bad, not gonna lie. I did not get to watch that yet, but yeah, I'm not surprised. He does have some pretty poor plays in him. But you know what? Everything's out right now. Let's go and let's start this shit, right? So Atlanta Falcons, you guys know the drill. I'm going to keep my phone over here just to be able to watch this live. Christopher Smith in my safety rankings. I haven't been able to deep dive him yet, so we'll check out that soon. There's a lot of DBs that I'm still studying. Again, I'm in school full time, so we got some stuff that we got to do. But let's continue with this. I think Christopher Smith's going to start rising up. I think he is. He's a good player. I liked him a lot. But let's look at the rookies. So obviously Drake London, Arnold Ebiketie, Troy Anderson, Desmond Ridder, all dudes who I think could start. When you saw Nick Kwiatkowski get cut, Kwiatkowski, I always say Kwiatkowski, that kind of is indicative to me that Troy Anderson could actually start for this team, and he might be good enough. I was a big fan of him. I think I had possibly a second round grade on him or a third round, so pretty solid. Desmond Ridder, I actually had him in that third round range to fourth round, so he got taken there. I think that was great. He's a guy where if you have Marcus Mariota, he's a good understudy to him. I don't think he's very far off from that skill set. D'Angelo Malone, I wasn't as high on as a lot of people, but I can never say no to edge. Tyler Algier is a really solid, just standard dude. And then you got Justin Schaefer, John Fitzpatrick, which funnily enough, one of my best friends was tight with John Fitzpatrick back in the day. They went to school together, so that's cool. Fun story right there. I will say, my least favorite pick was D'Angelo Malone because of the fact that I thought there were better edges on the board, like Cam Thomas. I'm not 100% sure if Myjai Sanders were on the board, but if he were, obviously both those guys went to the Cardinals, but they're the guys who popped into my head first. I think that would have been the better move, but hey, D'Angelo Malone, it's a super high ceiling dude. I'm fine with it. We got a question in the chat, or a comment at least. I feel like every draft pick, okay, I don't understand what the hell that says, but Bad could get a good amount of playing time. Yes. Oh, for the Falcons. Every draft pick for the Falcons could get a good amount of playing time. It's possible. So Tyler Algier, obviously the running back room, very small. Ebiketie should definitely start. London, probably wide receiver 1. Anderson, Kwiatkowski's gone, so I think he'll get some good reps. Malone, again, edge room thin. Again, we talked about Algier. Schaefer, injuries do happen. And then Fitzpatrick, he's a rotational guy. So I don't know if he'll actually get significant playing time, but, if he does, that's awesome. Let's slide right into the roster, though. Let's try to, keep it on that normal flow. You got Mariota here starting off at quarterback. Obviously, if you guys see, we use spottrack.com. It's just fun. I like the site. It's a good layout, except for the fact that they bamboozle me on the fucking positions. But Desi here, I think that's a great understudy. Again, that's a nice, cheap contract for a starting caliber quarterback. Felipe Franks is a good depth piece as well. I was a pretty big fan of him. I think he was QB9 for me that year. So not too shabby getting him undrafted. Running back room, Cordell Patterson, Algier. So there you go. Damian Williams is getting older too, so I don't really think he's going to be that effective. I know that Huntley guy was actually having a really good preseason, so sucks to see him go. I think he could have made some significant progress, but it is a little bit worrisome. I don't know how long Cordell is going to be a freak, but he's a G regardless. He's a really good player. I'm glad to see him have a career revival at running back. Then you got London here. Hopefully he stays healthy. Obviously he's had some issues there, and I would much rather see him in week 5 100% healthy than in week 2 or week 3 at 80% get hurt again. So again, when healthy, this guy's a beast. He was, I believe, was he my number 1? No, he's my number 2 wide receiver. Ridley, God, I can't really, yeah, I'm not going to comment on that. I do think it's kind of stupid. I also understand that the rules are the rules. But Calvin Ridley, he's a really good talent, and it sucks to see him not be able to play. But besides that, a little bit sketched out here. Daryl Hodge has some moments, but he didn't make it on the Browns roster, and the Browns have some issues at wide receiver too. So, I mean, Olamide Zaccheaus is I can't shit on Olamide. He's actually pretty good. I mean, he got that contract for a reason. But Kyle Pitts, obviously he's a freak. Sucks that John Fitzpatrick's hurt, so RIP. But yeah, Kyle Pitts, I think he was my number 2 player in that draft behind Penei Sewell, which both those guys have panned out. So let's go. Tackle-wise, Caleb McGarry. You got Chuma Doga from free agency. But is Jermaine Ifedi starting? I would cry if he starts. Where's Matthews at? So you got Matthews here. I assume Matthews and McGarry are the ones starting. But Jermaine Ifedi as well as Chuma Doga are really good backups. Jalen Mayfield, when healthy, is depth at best. You know, he had his moments. He had that game where he shut down Chase Young and pretty much hasn't done that much since. Chris Lindstrom's here at guard, pretty solid, but I'm a little bit concerned. I don't know who the other guard would be, especially since obviously the guard's not doing too hot. I know Caleb McGarry's cousin. She goes to my church. Well, that's awesome, Jordan. Have her come on the show. Well, maybe not. I haven't talked too much praise on him. But Chris Lindstrom, former first-round pick. Then we can go to the centers. You got Matt Hennessy. I'm pretty happy to see that he's actually making a start. But Drew Dahlman, that's a good depth piece, man. I like that. I like Drew Dahlman as a depth piece. I like him a lot. But I'm a little bit concerned about the offensive line in terms of the depth at interior. Seems to be a common theme, but there were a lot of good guys out there. There's still like Collegio Semley. Something I don't understand, I don't think the community understands it either, is the fact that the NFL, for some random reason, has no idea what they're doing in our eyes. Like you have a really weak interior offensive line, but there are these guys out here like David DeCastro that you can pick up for dirt cheap, and they end up coming in to some team, and then they end up balling the fuck out, and then everybody's like, whoa, how'd they do that? It's because they're good. Just people don't pick them up. I don't exactly see that. We'll get to Isaiah Oliver in a second, Jordan, but let's build a defense from the defensive line out. You guys know the drill. Grady Jarrett, he's a beast, obviously, deserving of that contract. You got Marlon Davidson here, former second-round pick. I thought that he was going to be a little bit better than he was. Kind of hurts a little bit. I thought he could be something really special. Not really a huge fan of much of the depth here, so that's just me, though. Defensive end-wise, you got Ebiketie here. That's a great addition. Had him as a first-round quality player. A little bit older, but again, still solid nonetheless. Obviously, I assume the rest are listed as outside linebackers, but not a huge fan of the interior defensive line depth overall. Let's look at those outside linebacker pass rushers. What the fuck? Where are they at, though? Okay, here we go. They're putting D'Angelo Malone as a linebacker. He's definitely going to be pass rushing. I don't know what they're saying he's putting as a linebacker for. Lorenzo Carter has his reps as a pass rusher as well. But then you got Michael Walker here for the linebackers. Rashawn Evans. I didn't know they picked up Rashawn. That's nice. That's a good one. You got Deion Jones. Can someone put down in the comments section or in the chat like what the issue is with his injury? But then you got Troy Anderson, who also has his moments. Nick Kwiatkowski, did he get brought back again? Because he got cut. Probably got brought back for a cheaper contract. But we'll see about that. Then we go to the corners here. You know, you got AJ Terrell. What's up, everybody? Feel free to drop some comments down here. I'm keeping track of it. You got AJ Terrell, who's a baller. He's a beast. He's going to get a big payday. Then you got Casey Hayward, who's a good vet to bring in, but does not destroy the need. Isaiah Oliver, hopefully he gets healthy because he is also a really good player, if I'm not mistaken, in the slot. Depth, I can guarantee you they're going to be pulling up some dudes from the practice squad for corner depth because 5 corners deep is like nothing. Absolutely nothing. Of course, you got a ton of safeties on the roster. Richie Grant, former second-round pick. Hopefully he takes another step this year. You need it, to be honest. I'm seeing if they have a free safety listed. They don't. So this is what you got. You got Richie Grant, Jalen Hawkins. Not a fan of this. Gonna be honest. Jalen Hawkins has his moments, but not a fan at all. Deion Jones still dealing with the shoulder. Gotcha. Thank you. Not a fan. Really not a fan of this safety room. The corner room's really thin. One injury and you're completely screwed. So let's get right into the record prediction. I already have it at 2-11, but we'll see. Had shoulder surgery in the offseason. Thank you, Shine Sun. Okay, so week 1, I still think the Saints are a better team overall. I do think that there is some hope for the Falcons having a week 1 upset. It just really depends on which quarterback is going to show up for both teams. Is it going to be Crap Jameis and it's going to be AJ Terrell's payday? Or else is it going to be like Mariota showing up and, having a good day? Or is he going to be feeding Marshawn Lattimore? I have no idea. I would bet more on the veteran side rather than the guy who hasn't started in a hot minute. The Rams, do I really need to talk about that? I don't think I do. But the Seahawks, they suck. I really have no faith in the Seahawks. And that's just true. I mean, if you just don't have a quarterback, it's why I gave the Browns a 3-14 record overall. I just don't think they're going to be able to win without QB. And that might be wrong. And I'm more than happy being wrong, but just not a huge fan of it. Falcons beating the Browns, I do think that's possible. Again, it is a potential flip game, but, I just don't have faith. I really don't, guys. If Grady Jarrett's coming right through the center, and obviously Nick Harris is hurt for the year, then it's just going to be a total shit show for whoever's playing QB. I think the Buccaneers, for first obvious reasons, should be able to beat the Falcons down in Tampa. We got some... Oh, what's up, Slovenia? Your name's Miha? That's kind of sick. Falcons versus Seahawks is a coin flip to me. I think so too, but I really do tip my cap to a team that, didn't lose Bobby Wagner, didn't lose Russell Wilson, and then doesn't have Drew Lock. Niners, I don't think I need to explain that either. If without Deion Jones, I know you said the first quarter of the year, so he could be coming back around this time. You're still dealing with a shoulder that isn't 100% healthy, and you're going against a very run-heavy offense. Could be a flip game. This could be a huge upset. So watch out for that. That could be an upset game. The Bengals, Joe's just going a little too hot. He's right now the supposed to be the yardage leader, predicted winner. There we go. This is a game that I was very polite and gave to you guys. I think that the Panthers are absolute studs. So I really do think they're heavily underrated, but giving that to you guys there in Georgia, I don't know what the hell's up with the UI here, but the Chargers, they're ready for the Super Bowl, man. Big fan of them. You got, again, I gave the Panthers the love they deserve. Did I give the Bears the win? Oh, Jesus. I really called an upset right there, didn't I? Oh, I don't know if I can give the Bears an 0-16 season, because you do call upsets from time to time. Man, that's one that the Bears shouldn't exactly win. If Roquan's going to play, I think he could be able to one-on-one Kyle. The corners are good enough. Safety is definitely good enough for the Bears. The pass rush, it's not that great. Man, I do think this is a winnable game by the Falcons. I think I said, I'm going to say this is an upset because I gave the Bears one win. We're going to leave it. Regardless, it makes you guys have a better pick in the future. Oh, your name's Enej. This is an alternate account. It's his mom's account. Love that. Seahawks 0-14, yeah. I could see the Bears winning that, to be honest. Yeah, I just don't have faith in the Bears, man. I really don't. Hopefully they bring in Khalid Osemele and then have him and Tevin Jenkins with Borum playing out on the tackle spot. Washington, I definitely think they could win that. Same thing with the Bears. I don't think I need to explain either of these games. Again, you're at home. I usually give it to the home team when it comes to division rivalries. The Cards, they finally got another corner, so I'm going to give it to them. And then last week of the season, it really depends because, honestly, when I'm looking at it, the way the Buccaneers are, I think they'd rest their starters. So I think, but there is only one playoff spot. They're probably going to try to squeeze it out. Who else is doing well in the... Oh, they're going to try to beat the Eagles. There's no way they can do that. Yeah, they're going to have to play to the final week of the season. Call me crazy. But that's going to be the Falcons. Let's actually... Who do we go to next? Let's continue with the Bucs. Why not, right? Let's see. Okay, I actually didn't reorder all my shit. Love it. Pretty sure the next slide here is actually going to be... Of course, it's the fucking Panthers. God help me. So Bears are going to go 1-16, get the number 1 overall pick, draft a quarterback, trade Fields, and have Fields go to be the next Drew Brees. I love that idea because I want Fields to have his best chance, but highly skeptical. Highly skeptical. All right, let's talk about the Buccaneers here. I think we beat the Saints once, Panthers once, Washington, Chicago, Cleveland, maybe Arizona. It's possible. It's possible, Jordan. You could. It just really depends on your quarterback play. And I don't know if I really believe in it. So we'll see about that. But for the Buccaneers, I was not a fan of their draft, really. Logan Hall, Luke Gadecki, I think both were overdrafted by at least 1 round. Rashad White was pretty cool, but I still think he was overdrafted by probably 4 rounds. I thought he was a 7th round pick. Cade Otton had his moments, but you got a punter. But there's really one good pick that you had in this draft. If I'm going to be honest, one good pick, and that's Zion McCollum, who I think I had a 2nd or 3rd round grade on him. He's just a freaky size-speed combo, dude. So we'll see about that. Overall, I gave it a B, and that was way too generous. I'd probably be giving it a D in retrospect. Was not a huge fan of Luke Gadecki as, you're getting depth in the 2nd round when you kind of need players who could win you a Super Bowl. There's still were people like Dameon Pierce there where, it's a good guy to potentially succeed on from Leonard Fournette. OMG, is this... Oh, J-Talk. Okay, well, glad to see that the community is flourishing outside. Let's get off these Panthers and let's go to the Buccaneers. Hallelujah, it saved my search. Let's go. Love this. Is this professional? No, but it's still fun. That's why we do this, right? Feel free to continue asking questions down below. I'm willing to interrupt the show for it because, honestly, it's more fun than just doing the standard video format. Of course, quarterback, you got Tom Brady. Glad to see Kyle Trask in here as well as Blaine Gabbert. I think they're a good combo. I think Kyle Trask he just showed out at Florida because he just had some crazy weapons and honestly not too shabby of an O-line. He has potential for sure, but some of the head-scratching mistakes and the panicking is a little too much for me. I feel bad for Tom Brady. He's only on a $15 million contract. I assume some of that got transferred to a signing bonus. But, damn, that's a low cap hit, man. Running back, you got Leonard Fournette, Rashad White, Keyshawn Vaughn. So we got 2 third-round busts. I think Keyshawn was a 2nd. But you got 2 day 2 busts probably at running back here. Gio Bernard, who is in the twilight of his career. I really do think they should be going out and getting better running backs. I'm just going to be honest. I don't think they can scout running backs very well, which RIP to that. Wide receivers, they do have some of the best in the game. I thought Russell Gage was hurt, but if he's not, awesome. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Julio Jones, Jalen Darden, Scotty Miller. This might be the best receiving core in the league. And I'm not even talking about Julio Jones as a legit option here. You have really good depth here with Jalen Darden and Scotty Miller on top of an injury-prone Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, not to mention Russell Gage. Tight end-wise, Cam Brate, this is legitimately very suspect for me. You got Kyle Rudolph here, whoop-de-doo. He's 32 years old and couldn't play when he was 28 at a high speed. So I just don't think in the modern NFL with fast and big linebackers, he's going to make much of an impact. It's a big drop-off from Gronk, so that kind of sucks. We got some talks down below. Hot take, Gage is better than Julio. I don't think it's a hot take. Julio's in the twilight of his career. For a guy who's arguably the number 1 wide receiver in the NFL to end up getting $6 million for 1 year, it makes sense. I don't think that's that bad. Brady should have been a Dolphins owner, honestly. That would have been better. Yeah. And then, that's funny. It said Josh Allen being your owner. That's funny. So let's continue on here. Tackles, you got Tristan Wirfs. Obviously, he's a monster when healthy. Where's the left tackle at? Donovan Smith. He's good. I don't have much to complain about Donovan Smith. Tackle depth, though. Robert Hainsey, I'm pretty sure he got hurt. I thought he got hurt, but he's a dude who can play literally anywhere. Besides that, a little bit suspect. Again, I understand that you have a 53-man roster. You can't have depth at every single position, which is why I love Robert Hainsey on the squad, but a little bit worried about that. Shaq Mason literally traded for a 5th round pick. That was a great pickup. Luke Gadecki, hopefully he actually continues making an impact because you're going to need it. Center-wise, you do have Ryan Jensen. I think he's out for the year, though. Am I wrong? I don't know why they're not listing him on IR. I thought he tore his ACL for some reason. Watch this team choke against the Cowboys. On God, dude. I swear. But let's build the defense from the defensive line out. Vita Vea, arguably the best interior in the NFL, so good for him. Then you got Logan Hall, second-round pick. Akeem Hicks, nice addition from the Bears. For that money, I mean, the Bears should be paying him, man. Will Golston's a nice addition as well. Pretty sure they kept him, but nice guy to have there. Carl Nassib, another really good depth piece. So, for once, I'm saying depth is pretty good. Let's go and let's check out the linebackers here. Obviously, you got some other pass rushers, Shaq Barrett, Joe Tryon, Shoyinka. Both really good players. Obviously, well-deserving of the money. And I think Joe Tryon's really going to be a big star in a year or two. Then you got the linebackers. Obviously, you got Devin White here, Levante David. Those are the big dudes on the block. But depth-wise, KJ Britt, not too bad at all. I like KJ Britt as a backup. Fatu Kasi isn't a bad backup either. Pretty sure he made some good plays in the preseason. I do like that a lot. Let's look at the safeties really quick. You got Keanu Neal. Obviously not the same guy that he was like year one as a rookie, but good player nonetheless. Antoine Winfield Jr. Love him. Love him. I was a huge fan of him coming out, so excited to see him continue to make an impact. Depth is pretty shit, but that's okay because you have a lot of corners, including Zion McCollum, Carlton Davis with his big contract, Sean Murphy Bunting, Jamel Dean in there as well. Logan Ryan got cut, but he got re-signed. Re-signed. Love that for him. But it was just probably a contract renegotiation. But Logan Ryan's a good player. And again, this team does have a lot of potential. Like, there's some holes for sure, but I legitimately think this team is really good. So let's go to the records. Week 1, I swear to God, if they lose the Cowboys, I will lose my shit. But I do think they're better than the Saints. I think in Tampa, you got to remember this, like, that humidity is a bitch. They'll beat them. They'll beat the Packers. And I think they'll beat the Chiefs. Chiefs have a lot of power, but the corner depth is good. The safety depth is good. Hell, the linebackers are good. The nose tackle is good. The defense is ready to be able to handle the high-powered Chiefs offense. And again, they have that home field advantage. It's Tampa. That shit is crazy. Trust me, I live in Texas, and it's killing me as it is. The humidity probably at that time in Tampa Bay, awful. Atrocious. We already talked about the Falcons, but Steelers, they shouldn't win the game, but I'm calling upset. It's not a game that they should win, regardless. But Panthers, again, calling an upset here. Upset 2 weeks in a row. There's just a certain point where you got to lose if you're the Buccaneers. This could be a loss for the Buccaneers right here to the Ravens. Again, a really high-powered run team. But I will say this. When you run the ball a lot, you also tire yourself out. And you are, again, in Tampa. Rams, I just don't think are as good as people think. Seahawks suck. The Browns, I don't even think Deshaun's going to be back then because they don't want Deshaun to play versus Tom Brady. Also, that would be just a slaughter. This could be a switch up here, but I'm going to leave it as is. Vita Vea is going to eat up any interior offensive lineman for the Niners. The Bengals, they could win that game, but we're going to stick to there. I don't think that the Cardinals are good this year. Home field advantage, and we just discussed that game. So they are, Jesus Christ, 15-2. Call me crazy, but the NFC is just not good too, I will admit. There's 2 games here that could be flipped. So I think at minimum you're winning 12 games, which is an extremely high clip. I thought Keanu was still with the Cowboys. I honestly thought he was too. I'm overrating the Lions. I could be. But I just flipped a game with the Cowboys with them. They're a good team. I really do believe in them. I think they're a good team. Let's continue on. Let's find another team that we haven't finished up yet. Do I go to the Seahawks? Yeah, let's do the Seahawks. Let's get them out of the way. The losers that they are. We'll just load up the Seahawks right here anyway. I'm so excited to give this team an 0-17 record. Hallelujah. The Vikings will win the NFC North. It's possible. It is. I don't know how possible, but it's possible. Did you guys watch any of the college games yesterday? I gotta admit, I watched the last 2 quarters of the Florida versus Utah game, and That was a good watch. Big fan of that. Came down to the wire. That was a fun game. If you guys haven't watched it, what if the Packers get third in the division? I would laugh. I would cry. I would be very happy. I'm not a huge fan. Oh God, this is gonna be atrocious to talk about, guys. I'm gonna be honest. You guys are making me talk about this. I was at the UGA game. Oh, that's awesome. So you're from Atlanta. Yeah, you gotta love that. So yeah, this is what I use for all my graphics and stuff because it's free. You guys should use it too. If I'm gonna be honest. It does take a while to load just because it's a bitch, but it works. Wait, we're doing the Seahawks here. I was about to go down to the... Yeah, here we go. We're right up here. I don't even remember what order I did this in, guys. It's been a minute. But let's pop this open. But yeah, the UGA game, that must be fun. So yeah, my ex-girlfriend lives in Atlanta. She lives in Buckhead, so yeah, I'm pretty familiar with the area. I love Atlanta. It's a really fun city, except for when your car gets like your windows bashed in for no reason. Lions are going to be decent this year. Then Goff will be replaced, and they'll be in contention. It's possible. I don't know. I don't think Goff is the issue, though. I watched my Hawaii get destroyed. Oh, that sucks. I was a huge fan. So I first got into college football because of Cole McDonald. I just watched him as a meme, and he ended up being really good. So that sucks. Yeah, that was a massacre. Yeah, Oregon looked like complete crap. Like, honestly. But let's talk about the Seahawks here. Speaking of another team that's probably going to get obliterated. Charles Cross starting off, loved it. Boye Mafe, high ceiling, edge rusher, big fan. Wasn't that high on Kenneth Walker as most people, but still a really good pick. Abe Lucas, awesome. Kobe Bryant and Tariq Woolen, I thought were absolute steals as well. Tyreek Smith, good player. Bo Melton, awesome. I really put Dariq Young as my least favorite. The past two drafts, I think I gave him A+. So, pretty good. I'm a big fan of their draft picks. I think this team is like a couple pieces away from actually getting back to contention, especially in the NFC. Stop sleeping on Locke. Definitely not sleeping on Locke. Miami versus whoever was an interesting game. Oh, yeah. 70 to 3 or something? Love it. Dalvin Cook. Gotta love him. But let's go and let's talk about this. Yeah, I'm sleeping. But I'm sleeping on Drew Lock. Geno Smith's fun just to see him actually be able to play, which I was kind of hoping that I never would have to again. But, he's better than Drew Lock in my opinion. I hope they give Drew the chance, though. He has more energy and more potential. Doesn't mean it's going to equate to wins. But Kenneth Walker's a good player. Rashad Penny's nice. DJ Dallas is nice. You'll always have a good running back room. I do like it. Travis Homer, also a pretty good back. So overall, you guys are fine there. Wide receivers, you have good ones too. DK, Tyler. Again, I had Dwayne as his name's actually D now. I had D as a wide receiver worth a first-round pick. And I think he will get there. I just don't know why he hasn't been unlocked yet. Marquise Goodwin's a good depth piece as well. You got Penny Hart twice? Damn. Didn't know players could clone themselves. Good contract right there, though. Will Disley, Noah Fant, and Colby Parkinson. So, you guys don't know, went to high school with Colby. That he was like the tight end that we had. I'll just pull up a picture. Why the fuck not? It's always fun when I get to show off Colby. Colby was the coolest dude, man. He was super smart. Everybody looked up to him. He was a great locker room dude, and I hope he continues to progress because he hasn't been NFL worthy, just to be blunt, which sucks, but that's okay. He's a good player nonetheless. I think that he has the potential that he needs to, but it's a little bit rough. I'm having to go back to 2016 when I played with these guys. It's very entertaining, but here we go. So yeah, that's me and Colby. I don't know if you guys can see it, honestly. But yeah, Colby was our tight end. Really fun. He was a really good guy. So honored to be able to know somebody of that caliber. Trying to be funny, huh? Oh yeah. Dwayne took off the Wayne part. Yeah, it became D. Eskridge. Really weird. Let's continue though. Colby's an awesome guy. Tackles, you got Cross and Lucas. I thought that's amazing. Forsyth, I thought was a great pickup as well. I was a big fan of Forsyth last year. And then let's look at the guards. You got Gabe Jackson, not bad. Damian Lewis, not bad. Honestly, again, this team is a quarterback away. I just don't even know. You got Austin Blythe or Kyle Fuller here. Again, I think center is a big issue on this team, and with a poor quarterback, that's going to perpetuate things because if you can't read the defense properly, you're not going to set up the protection properly, and that's just going to end up causing unnecessary pressure. I think that that's actually going to be a legitimately huge factor. So you're a center and a quarterback away, center or quarterback to be honest, away from being legitimately good on offense. Shelby Harris on the defensive interior, Quentin Jefferson, Al Woods, Poona Ford in here. Not bad. Again, you're kind of patching it with like good enough players, and they're not tomato cans, but I don't think they're phenomenal. Shelby Harris is probably the best that you got, and he's a good pickup, but I don't see anything like... I would say your division's pretty poor in interior offensive line, so that's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea to have a good interior. But yeah, you got Poona Ford, LJ Collier. Wasn't he like a late first or an early second? I remember when I saw that, I was like, you got to be kidding me. But Boye Mafe, Tyreek Smith's here. I hope he gets off IR soon. Alton Robinson, he's a good player as well. Like, you got some good players here. Like, I have underrated this team, I will admit. You got Darrell Taylor here as well, second round pick from a couple years ago. I remember that was like one of the first drafts I watched too. It surprised everybody. They're like, whoa, Darrell Taylor? But Uchenna Nwosu also there. He's going to be a pass rusher, linebacker hybrid. That's a good pickup. I was a big fan of that. Again, keeping it on the West Coast, good player. Jordan Brooks is going to be taking over for where you guys had, Bobby Wagner. There we go. I was like, I'm ready to say it, and then it just like instantly flashes away. Amazing. Cody Barton's a good backup linebacker as well. I will say I am very unimpressed with the depth at linebacker. Like, one injury, you guys are completely screwed. Hopefully you have some safeties who can play it. Oh, wait, you do. Jamal Adams, he could end up actually playing linebacker if need be. Quandre Diggs is a good player as well. Well deserving of that 13 a year. But besides that, I'm a little bit worried about the issues with the contracts. I thought Joey Blunt got his ACL torn. I'm tripping. But let's look at the corners here. Again, this is the big issue. Kobe Bryant, Tariq Woolen, Sidney Jones, like, they're all good, but they're not good yet. Like, Sidney Jones is probably your best day one starter. I mean, hell, you have Artie Burns. The Steelers wouldn't even want him. But you got Tariq Woolen, Kobe Bryant. Both these guys need time. Trey Brown, I was a pretty big fan of. Happy to see him still on a roster, but like, none of these guys are starter worthy anymore, which sucks. Sidney Jones probably the best guy that you got. Justin Coleman's not too shabby, but again, like, let's see if there's any new comments here. What high school did I go to? I went to Oaks Christian. Yeah, that's where like Matt Corral played, Zach Charbonnet. I found out last night actually that my parents were talking to me about like Zach and stuff because I was like showing them the UCLA game yesterday, and they're like, "Yeah, I just remember when Zach would came over to our house." I was like, "What the hell?" I totally forgot. So Zach and I were in a World War II class together after I left the team for concussion issues, but like we did like this whole project for World War II class on like it was really cool, but it unlocked a memory. I totally forgot Zach and I actually hung out at my house, but he's the guy who taught me how to hold a football. He did a spin move on me in like the weight room, and I ate shit, so that's a really funny memory too. But great guy. I hope that he's able to not let the fame get to his head that much. He's a good kid, and I feel like he's trying to focus on sports, which is great for him. I wish him the best, but I hope that once he gets to the top, focuses back on the people who care about him. Regardless, no need to get deep here. My cousin may declare for the draft this year. Right tackle from Georgia State. That's awesome, Jordan. I hope the best for him. Would I draft Will Anderson or Bryce Young if you're the Falcons? Really depends. I'd probably go... That's actually a really tough question. I might go Bryce Young, and this is the reason why. The second round, I know I could get an edge rusher worth a first-round pick. Like, I'd be willing to go after Zion Tupelo-Fatui, but, like, that is just really, really, really nitpicking. Again, knowing that you have Desmond Ridder there as a third-round pick, I'd give him a shot, so I guess Will Anderson in the end, but I think both options are pretty solid options. But yeah, let's go into this records predictions here. So starting off week 1, the Broncos, Russ is going to get his revenge. That's just true. I think the Niners, this could be an upset game. I don't think I'm going to be giving them an 0-17 record, guys. I prefer Jalen Carter. I don't think Jalen Carter would be a better pick than Will Anderson. I think edge rusher is a lot more valuable, and you can hit on defensive tackles later. You got the Falcons. The Falcons might actually lose this game. They actually might. If you can run the ball enough, I think you could actually win this one. Am I going to flip a game that I just did? I'm sorry, Jordan. I'm going to do it. I really do think that this team is underrated. It's probably going to be... They're not going to throw the ball at all, but I just really don't have faith in the safeties to come up into the box and help. So I think that's going to be a big factor there. The Lions are actually a really good team, so I don't know. We got a text coming in here. Okay, now let's get back to the content. The Saints, I do think that you can't really run on the Saints. They do have a pretty good squad overall. The Cards, this could be an upset. It could be. I'm not going to have it be that, but we're just going to keep that in the back of your mind. This could be a legitimate upset game. You have the Chargers here. I think they're a great team. Again, I just think that that's not a team that you'd upset. J.C. Jackson's going to have a field day if you try to. Khalil Mack's also going to have some fun. But the Giants... I don't know how to feel about the Giants. I think Brian Dable could squeeze out a dub there. You know, we'll continue keeping that the same way. Honestly, the Raiders got to watch out. I think Uchenna Nwosu might actually feast on the offensive line there. Legitimately, I think the Raiders totally shot themselves in the foot. They should have been trying to make moves for an offensive tackle, and they just didn't. They might be the most overrated team I've ever seen, just because of the fact you don't have O-line. I'm sorry, you have good weapons and you have good edge rushers. You have to have corners. They don't. They have Rock Ya-Sin. They just got rid of their number 2. And then you also have to have an offensive line. And they're just not going to win that battle of the trenches. Rams, I mean, it's the Rams. It's the Rams, guys. You know, again, you have the Panthers here. They're a great team. Niners are just probably masterclass in this division. I'm going to give the Chiefs a dub here. I don't really think there's much debate on that. The Jets, this could be a flipped game. I might do that. The Jets have so much talent, though, in the receiving room. I'm going to leave it as is. But I think, did we give we give them a dub? We did. So, it looks like the Bears and the Seahawks, nothing's changed about the rankings, the record predictions. You know, this is really harsh for the damn Falcons. They had a tough schedule, though. You look at it, it's like, you could flip this. I might want to. I think Drake London's going to be out week 1, right? Coin flip, I told you. I would like the combo of Carter and Jarrett. Favorite NBA team. Ooh, my favorite NBA team is the Bucks, and it's not for the reason you think. So I've really never followed the NBA in depth, and I had like 2K17, and my Crate My Player ended up getting drafted by the Bucks. So I was just like, fuck it. Because I used to be a Lakers fan since I lived in Los Angeles, but I kind of I fell out of love with basketball, so I didn't really care too much about it. So you can call me a cop-out. It's like my old home team, the Lakers. Now my team's the Mavs because I live here. But my actual favorite team is the Bucks because my player in 2K got drafted there. So that's the only reason why. Good D-line makes the corners better. That's very true. It is very true. But to what degree? I'm going to see if I can flip a game here. Because I really do think the Falcons deserve more than 2 wins. And I think they'll get it. Oh, this is a coin toss game. Man, I really want to flip it. I might. Oh, man, this sucks. Because I really do want to do this. This team deserves more than 2 wins. It does. What's up, Big Jordan? Do you know where Doncic is from? Isn't he from Slovenia? I'm not mistaken, I think he is. Which is great. Power to him. This is a tough schedule, though. Like, the more I look at it, it's like, dude, you're playing the Niners, the Bengals, like, the whole entire NFC North, or AFC North. Like, this is a tough sketch. Oh, do I dare give the Bears an 0-17 record? I think they're just so bad. Like, they're literally so bad, guys. I don't even think their offensive line is good. Fuck the Bears. Funny thing is, they're my second favorite team. So, I have the right to say that. We're going to flip that. Bye-bye, Bears. You're 0-17. They're going to be number 1 in my mock drafts from now on. I thought Serbia. I showed him everything he knows. Oh, I have no idea. What's up, Pac-12? So we're just finishing off all this. I think it would be just more fun as a live stream. But we have officially finished the NFC, I believe. All these games are done. They are. So the NFC is done. AFC, do we have any more teams? Do we have any more teams? We do. We have these two. The games between them. So let's see. Which one are we going to see? I think I'm a little bit more worried about why the hell am I getting a call from North Carolina? Love it. No update on London. Great. Love that. But I got to look at these two. We got to do the battle between the two. I'm going to look at the Chiefs roster right now because I do think that is going to be more it's really going to come down to whether I want the Chargers to win or not because of the fact that let's slide back here. Not because I'm like trying to put it based on okay. Well, wow, that's so funny. I was looking up the Chiefs and started typing Chargers. Because the Chargers are going to be the team we look at last. Makes sense, right? It's going to be weird, though. It's going to be weird. Because I'm obviously going to make the initial decision with the Chiefs, but the final with the Chargers. And I think that's fair. I mean, it's logical, too. But it's what we've been doing the whole time. I don't know why I'm, like, trying to make this sound like it's some crazy idea. But we're going to rock with it, okay? So we got to exit out of this, and we got to get down to our... Oh, God. I hate the loading on this. But we're going to go Chiefs, then we're going to go Chargers. That's how we're going to end this off. Hopefully okay, well, God forbid the Chiefs are in the exact location where I don't want them to be. But let's go into this. Texas versus Bama next week. Woo! I got to watch that Texas game. I really want to see. Top quarterbacks, Anthony Richardson, Tyler Van Dyke. That's pretty impressive. It could be like that. Obviously, if Miami continues playing the way they did, obviously, they played against a shit team, then it makes sense. Anthony Richardson, I told you guys, he's a stud. He makes some stupid decisions and misses some stupid throws, but you see the potential. Like, that guy is special. But let's look at the Chiefs really quick. I'm going to quickly respond to this. Okay, let's get right into this. So, starting off, Trent McDuffie, George Karlaftis. I thought that was great. Again, obviously, this was part of the Tyreek Hill trade. Again, I wasn't that high on Trent McDuffie. I really did think that he was just like, But, I think that was a good pick. Regardless, you're still taking a corner. I'm going to make sure that we get everything down. I'm trying to check my ranking on him right now. Trying to see back, like, you guys know. I'm trying to check my old big board. Okay. I believe I had him like 50 or something. I think it was like 65. Pretty sure. So, regardless, still think it's a good pick. George Karlaftis, I think that was a phenomenal pick. You guys know me. Top 10 on my board. Sky Moore was a great value pick as well. Not a fan of Brian Cook. I didn't really think he was worth it. But you got Leo Chanel and Josh Williams. Both of them are studs. And then Jalen Watson. He's actually not doing too shabby. Isaiah Pacheco doing good as well. Grade A, I think it still remains a grade A because that Brian Cook thing, but it looks good. I did tell you guys, Bama does not have a challenge till week 5 or 6. I don't think Bama has a challenge period unless it's Georgia. It's kind of weird, but we wanted Leo, but took Tyndall the pick before. Did they really take Tyndall the pick before? Oh, that hurts. My God. Okay, well. Let's honestly, we'll load up the Chargers for the next one. But let's look at the roster. And let's look at the dudes. You got Patty Mahomes. Awesome. Shane Buechele, pony up. Obviously, you guys don't know. Go to SMU. Then we got running backs here. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Rojo, Jerick McKinnon, Pacheco. All good enough guys, but none of them are going to actually elevate the offense, which, without Tyreek Hill, might be an issue. Sky Moore looks good. McCole Hardman is a good role player. Juju's a nice guy to have there too. it's MVS, man. Like, you have good enough players. It's just they're not like really beyond good enough. Like, I really do think that they're really good players, but I just don't think they're going to elevate the roster to like, once you get to the playoffs, when the teams get that much better, I think that it will start becoming an issue. Travis Kelce, obviously, he's probably the best tight end in the game. Then you have some good depth pieces. I actually like both Noah Gray and Blake Bell, so happy to see that. Matt Bushman was actually pretty good too. Tackle-wise, Orlando Brown still having his issues with his contract. Andrew Wiley's really good as well. I like Prince Tega Winogo and Lucas Niang as depth. So, again, I can't really complain about this at all. I want to see if they had another tackle on their roster. But, again, good starting lineup, man. Honestly, it's a good lineup. For once, I'm not bitching about their O-line. Joe Tooney, Trey Smith, great on the interior. Darian Kennard, guard tackle backup. Again, really good. Nick Allegretti's even good. And then you got Creed, one of my biggest misses of all time. Yeah, I didn't like him because of his processor more than anything. And again, that's kind of a big deal to me. But you have an elite quarterback, so I don't really think that his processor really matters in that situation. Regardless, you got Chris Jones here building defensive line out, of course. Chris Jones. $20 million for a D tackle sounds crazy until it's Aaron Donald or Chris Jones. Kalen Saunders is a good depth piece as well. He has a really good preseason. And then Derek Nottie is another good depth piece. Frank Clark, he's good. Karloftis is shown out. I love Joshua Kando, 6'7", 260 as a backup. Freaky potential. Carlos Dunlap, that is a depth piece as well. This team's looking a lot better than I expected. So I'm very happy to see that. Linebackers, Willie Gay was a huge fan when he got drafted. Had personality concerns, but not really a big issue. I told you all about Nick Bolton back in the day. Big fan of Nick Bolton. I think I had a late first on him. So glad to see that he's been balling out. Leo Chanel had a first round on him as well. He's going to be a big impact player. I will say, pretty poor on the depth at the linebacker position. You have great depth on the O-line, but not really the linebacker. But I will say, you have the talent there, and they're young. So, hopefully they stay healthy. Praying they stay healthy, guys. Let's continue on. Let's look at the safety room. Justin Reed. That's a great pickup. Huge fan of that. Juan Thornhill in there as well. I will say I kind of wish there was a better safety, but I do know that Brian Cook was a second-round pick for you guys. So happy to see that you guys got somebody that you like. Let's continue on to the corners. Trent McDuffie, Josh Williams, L'Jarius Sneed. I will say it's not very awe-inspiring to me that Trent McDuffie and L'Jarius Sneed are the top two. But they're both good enough. Again, this is better than what I was talking about with the Seattle Seahawks for sure. And I love Josh Williams. Jalen Watson also not too bad. I think he was a 6'4" corner from Wazoo. And then you got Rashad Fenton in there as well. Big fan of that. Sangi loves Juan Thornhill. You have, of course, Mr. Master Sylvania talking about when you run a 4-2, you make the rules. Very true. Very true. Arkansas week 5, A&M week 6. I don't think Arkansas is going to be a big issue for Bama, to be honest. But A&M might be. We'll see. So let's go in here. Let's decide these games. We're going to split the games. We're going to do that, and we'll make the final decision. But I do think the Chiefs would beat out the Cards. I'm just really high on the Colts, so I'm going to do that. Again, you're in Tampa Bay. Makes sense. Then, you can... This is a ballsy pick, but you are in Kansas City. I think you could beat both these teams. The Raiders, I just don't think they're good. The Niners, I do think you can beat them. Again, you have Chris Jones on the interior. Then, again, I think you have a good enough interior. You have a good enough line and linebacking core to stop Derrick Henry with good enough corners and safeties to stop. I think this will actually be a slaughter. People think it's going to be a good game. I think that people are overrating the Titans. Think this is a good game as well. Again, we're splitting this and making the final decision with the next. I do think, again, I'm not really disagreeing with any of these. Like, the Bengals interior might get a little bit shellacked, but not an issue. I honestly think this is a perfect record prediction. I think that they could split with the Chargers as well. So, big fan of that. Let's end this thing off. Let's do it. I know all the games are already decided for the Chargers, but we're going to actually see if it's valid. So, Chargers. Okay, so do you think Vanderbilt goes 4-0 going into Bama? I haven't looked at their record. I have very little faith in Vanderbilt ever. If you guys don't know, Vanderbilt was my number one school when I applied to college. So, RIP to that dream, but it is what it is. Then we have, I'm just really high. Love that. Ravens are winning the AFC North. I think we had that, right? Yeah, we do. Yeah, I think the Ravens are going to win the AFC North too. But Chargers here, let's look at their rookies. You got Zion Johnson, JT Woods, Isaiah Spiller. I think those are all really good picks. And even Otito is really good. I don't think he was as good as, who's the other interior? I'm bugging. He's on the Cowboys now, but I don't think he was as good as him from UCLA. Jamari Sawyer was a great pickup. Like, again, depth piece. Love it. Jasir Taylor, I wasn't really a big fan of anybody past Jamari Sawyer, but they're not really going to make a difference. So it is the way it is. Vandy is 2-0 right now. Might play Wake. Okay, yeah, they're going to get their ass whooped by Wake Forest. But they could be 3-1. But honestly, this is a good roster. Or this is a good draft. JT Woods, big fan of him. He's a freak athletically. But let's look at the roster. Justin Herbert, really good backups as well. I think Chase Daniel, if I'm bringing in a quarterback, I want Chase Daniel to be his mentor. Easton Stick is another really good guy to put in behind Justin Herbert. Running back wise, they brought in Sony Michel. Love that as a compliment to Austin Eckler and Isaiah Spiller. Still think they could end up getting somebody like Sean Tucker as a good guy in there, but pretty damn solid running back room. Wide receivers, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, the top two. Josh Palmer's going to have a big year, I have a feeling. But besides that, you got Jalen Guyton, who's a good deep threat. Not seeing very much depth here at wide receiver. And a little too much depth at tight end. I thought Donald Parham was on another team. I swear to God, I did a video where I was talking about him. You guys got to update me on that. Trey McKitty and Gerald Everett are solid tight end 1-2. Forgot Gerald Everett was even there. So that's a really good pickup. I like that. He's a good player. Tight end or tackle wise, it's not going to be Trey Pipkins or Andrew Traynor, but I'm not a huge fan of seeing that as depth. You got Storm Norton. That's a big issue to me, but you got Rashawn Slater here, who's going to be a stud. I do have an issue with that, and I'm pretty happy with the game split right at the moment. Sebastian Joseph, I'm pretty sure it's Sebastian Joseph Day, really good player. I think that he's well-deserving that contract. Jerry Tillery's been a bust, but you got Otito here. I think D-tackle could be in the books, but people are heavily overvaluing D-tackle with Siaki Ika in their mock drafts. It's just some poor sportsmanship. But you got Chris Rumph here and Morgan Fox as well in the interior. I really like Chris Rumph. He has some really good plays. I have a feeling people are going to see him just flourish right there behind Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, freaks at their position. Lack of depth at edge rusher, though. Don't like that because it's a very high contact position, and I feel like that would be a very high injury rate position. Linebackers, you got Kenneth Murray, Drew Tranquil in here, Troy Reader. It's never been a strength of the Chargers, and it probably never will be. I think the Chargers should try to trade for Roquan Smith because I think that'd be a great fit. Bring him back with Khalil Mack, right? Kyle Van Noy in here as well. Solid veteran to have. But I think that would be a good move for them. Trade your first-round pick and get him. The Bears need the help anyway. So let me know what you guys think about that. Safety-wise, they have a ton of dudes. Derwin James, obviously one of the best safeties in football when healthy. Nasir Adderley's been kind of a bust, but hopefully he's able to get a cheaper deal and kind of continue to improve himself. And then you got JT Woods, who's a stud. Alohi Gilman, no idea who the hell that is, to be blunt with you. But overall, a good safety room. Corners, J.C. Jackson's a stud. Asante Samuel Jr., love it. I would like a long-term answer at slot, but Bryce Callahan is probably as best you're going to get with a stopgap guy. So overall, love it. Even like Michael Davis is a backup. I'm a huge fan. So again, honestly, I'm going to leave it as a split because I really do think these teams match each other very well. Looking at the teams that beat them, because I really don't see any of these games changing. The Niners could do it because the linebackers are crap. I think that's possible. The interior is not good enough to really totally change that game. It's an upset game. Again, I think that's just a possible game. Who else beat them? Colts. Again, the Colts are really good. Their corner 2 is face on. I hope that changes, but it is what it is. And then you still have Stephon Gilmore there. Yeah, honestly, we're gonna leave the records as is, guys. I think this team deserves a 13-4 record, if not 14-3. Doesn't really change anything regardless. If I swapped any of the games, it wouldn't change any record predictions. Again, they would still be probably 5, maybe number 6. Whoop-de-doo. Changes in one spot in the mock draft. And they don't even draft. So, That's going to be it, guys. Like, let me know what you guys thought about this. I'm going to check the end of the chat. Am I in college? Yes, I go to SMU. Ravens, definitely best chance to go worst to first in their division. Oh, I 100% agree. Were they really worst last year? No way. Maybe you were thinking of Dylan Parham. Maybe. I thought I was talking about the tight end Parham. What's up, Sportsmania? You got Chargers winning the division, in my opinion. Well, it looks like our opinions are the same. Who do you got, LSU or Florida State? I'm going to go Florida State. I think that they have a lot of talent. And they have Robert Scott as a good tackle. I'm just going to do that. Dolphins really winning it all this year. I hope so. But that's going to be it, guys. I'm going to take a break. I got a lot of homework to do. So just trying to balance everything out. So let me know what you guys think. We're going to go right back here. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the far side.